going to tell you the unbelievable story of how the movie Snow Dogs was critically important to the early days of growth at Netflix. Have you ever wondered what it takes for a company to transform from a small startup into a global giant? Today, we're diving into a fascinating story from the early days of Netflix. Hi, I'm JP Armour, and welcome to Business Titans, where we uncover the untold stories of tech, founders, mergers and acquisitions, and more. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get started with today's story. Back in 2012, I had the unique opportunity to speak with one of the early employees at Netflix. Let's call him Andy. Andy shared an incredible story that played a pivotal role in Netflix's early success. And it's a secret story that very few people know about. This story takes us back to the early 2000s, a time before streaming was even a thing. Netflix was a subscription-based service. But instead of streaming movies directly to your device, they mailed out physical DVDs. That's right, every Netflix member received DVDs in the mail. You'd manually build a list of movies you wanted to watch. And when a movie was released, Netflix would send it to you. But shipping physical DVDs had its own set of challenges. Unlike digital streaming, where you can access an unlimited number of movies at any time, Netflix could only ship a limited number of physical DVDs. And producing more DVDs wasn't as simple as it sounds due to licensing restrictions. Netflix was only allowed to make a certain number of copies. So what happened when a blockbuster movie was released and the demand far exceeded the supply? Who would get the movie and who would have to wait? Enter Snow Dogs. Yes, the movie Snow Dogs played a surprisingly crucial role in keeping Netflix's customers happy and keeping the number of subscribers always increasing. Let me explain how. For those who might not remember, Snow Dogs was a 2002 comedy film starring Cuba Gooding Jr. The plot revolves around a Miami dentist who inherits a team of sled dogs in Alaska, and naturally, hilarity ensues as he tries to adapt to his new surroundings and master dog sledding. Despite its lighthearted premise and star power, Snow Dogs was far from a hit. Critics panned it, and it didn't fare much better at the box office. The film grossed about $115 million worldwide, but it was widely regarded as a commercial and critical bomb. Andy told me that through years of testing and trial and error, Netflix discovered a key insight. If a member had been with Netflix for over 12 months, the chances of them unsubscribing were very low. So if they had to risk disappointing anyone, it would be those members who had been around for longer than a year. But what does this have to do with the movie Snow Dogs? Let's give an example. Imagine the movie Terminator 2 gets released and it's on everyone's list. Far more people want it than there are copies available. Here's the huge secret. Netflix would only send Terminator 2 to members who had been with the service for less than a year. These were the critical members to keep happy. So Netflix did whatever it took to keep them happy and get them over that critical 1-year mark. So those are the members that received Terminator 2. Older members, those who had been with Netflix for over a year and were less likely to unsubscribe in the event of disappointment, would receive a copy of Snow Dogs instead. Why Snow Dogs? Because Netflix had tons of copies and nobody wanted it. They couldn't mistakenly send out another popular movie. It had to be something no one was clamoring for. Therefore, they received a copy of Snow Dogs, wink wink, by mistake. New members who got Terminator 2 were thrilled. Netflix knew they had to keep these new members happy and get them past the critical 1-year mark, where they'd most likely stay subscribers for life. Older members who received Snow Dogs were understandably upset, but it didn't matter. They wouldn't unsubscribe. They just returned Snow Dogs and asked for the correct movie. By the time they did, the new members had watched and returned their copies of Terminator 2. And those copies were then sent out to the older members. It was a brilliant strategy. In the end, everyone got to watch the movie they wanted, and Netflix continued to grow its subscriber base. This approach of prioritizing new members while keeping long-term members relatively satisfied was a game changer. Now let's take a moment to think about the bigger picture. This strategy highlights An important lesson for all entrepreneurs, business leaders, and aspiring tech giants. Do you know what your snow dogs moment is? At what point in your customer's journey can you afford to make a mistake, knowing they'll still stick with you? Every company needs to build such strong relationships with its customers that even a misstep won't drive them away. Netflix figured out that after a year, their customers were hooked. What about your business? What is your snow dogs moment? Is it 1 year? 1 month? When are they hooked? At what point, no matter the disappointment, are they hooked to your brand for life? If you don't know, you might never have the breakout success that Netflix enjoys to this day. Leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Business Titans. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.